Hey guys, this is Hades. This is going to be another account takeover video. So we've got Fox McPants, level 65. What I'm going to do, I'm going to give you a quick tour of the account, and then I want you to comment below before I show you what day do you think this account is on. Obviously, just do it. Just do it. So this is the account then. We have got a whole bunch of 60s. What we got here? 1, 2, 3, almost four full rows of 60s. So what, like 35, 36 or so champions leveled up. We've got some of the top tier legendaries here. We've got Raglan already. We've got Septimus, Altan. We've got a counter attacker in Skull Crusher. Maneater already in the account. We've got Sepulchre leveled up down here. So loads to work with here. We've got a Seeker as well. Tons to work with. So what we're looking to do here, currently we're hitting Brutal Clan Boss, and the clan here from Fox McPants, Raiders Club 2, they're looking to move up to Nightmare. So Fox McPants was like, "Oh, Hades, help me get there." And then on a secondary, he wants help with his arena, because currently it's looking pretty bronze in here, considering the champions we've got. We've got silver being here. It's very bronze here. We're starting to get silver medals, but it needs a makeover. We need to be slamming through the levels in the arena to get up to a higher level. So level 65, silver 2 in the arena, already hitting Brutal Clan Boss for about 16 million or so. So doing reasonable damage already on Brutal. But this dude is 20 days in worth of gameplay. I mean, this is as whaley, I think, as I've seen on such an early account. Full on whale, which I've got no problems with. I don't care if people want to spend money on the game. It's totally up to them. As long as they've got the means to do it, totally fine. So what I'm expecting to see, and I've not looked yet, is obviously we've got a lack of Great Hall support. So any builds I'm trying to do will lack the finesse that the Great Hall brings. I'd be surprised if we've really got gear. Let's have a little look. You know, these things, unless you're buying gear packs, which I guess we could have bought some gear packs. Maybe we've bought a few. But if someone says to me, "I've got loads of gear, don't worry," you might have plenty of pieces of gear, but this crap, okay, pretty crap. Like, where's the speed on your speed gear? And that only comes from time. Like, to get the drops you need, you can't just do it overnight. I mean, you can buy gear sets if they pop up, but even they don't pop up that often. So, you know, we might end up having pretty much whatever has been possible to buy. But look at lifesteal here. Very little lifesteal gear. So it's going to be a real challenge. Even though we've got all the champions under the sun, it's going to be a real challenge to do the sort of builds that these champions could do. And I'm instantly thinking there should be an Unkillable team here that's going to be very suitable for Nightmare to get us consistent, easy damage. And then for the arena, I mean, we've got High Katoon already as a speed lead. That's cool. Anyone else in there? Anyone else? I think High Katoon's probably the winner in terms of speed lead, unless I'm missing someone. I'll have a proper look through later. We've got Ray. I don't think she's arena. And then obviously we're going to need to work out what we're going to do for damage and composition. So I'll work through all of that as I get through the account takeover. Let's just see if we've got the Clan Boss team in play right now. Anything good here? No. All of this stuff takes time. To get any sort of drops like this, it just takes time. You can't do this stuff overnight. So at the moment we're running Poisoner, Decrease Attack, and then we've got a Reviver, 2 champions that can speed up, and then more poison. So we don't have any sort of defense, decreased defense out there. We don't have any sort of weaken, which will dramatically kind of change up the damage. We're not making use of Septimus right now. So yeah, anyway, there's plenty we can do with this account. Absolutely tons we can do. I'm going to start, actually, probably just have a quick check at some of these builds. So considering we're on Brutal here, this is good, this is good. This is a really good build. Nothing wrong with that at all. Who else was in that team? Raglan. So it looks like Mr. McFarty Pants, or whatever his name was, has already got a good measure of who needs accuracy and who doesn't. Where does the speed need to go? Where does the defense need to go for clan boss setup? So all of that actually is already pretty good. Bit low on defense here, but not too bad. Good speed, got the crit rate. I'd swap some of this crit rate for defense if my defense was that low. Tail build, lifesteal build. Actually, defense is a bit low here. So defense is lacking a bit for your clan boss setups, but not tragically bad. But yeah, defense is the kind of main thing, which if we build the defense up, he would just basically probably one key with the team he's running right now. But we're going to go beyond that. We're going to get into Nightmare, and I'm going to see if I can just push a crazy big hit on Nightmare off the bat. Let's see how we get on. Okay, so I think with the champions we've got here, the best composition that we can run to give us consistency in Nightmare clan boss, and also to give us the ability just to scale it up to Ultra Nightmare whenever the clan is ready, is going to be an Unkillable comp. I didn't used to be a massive fan of Unkillable comps. I still personally prefer to build normal clan boss teams. However, I cannot argue the fact that Unkillable comps are easier for up and coming players, easier to build. You can use champions that perhaps you don't necessarily need to use in your arena teams and stuff like that. So you can use more budget champions and still get the same results. So for me, I'm going to go Unkillable. We're actually going to go with the kind of Maneater and Painkeeper combo. So all you need is a Maneater and a Painkeeper. I say all you need. They're both void champs. They're not the easiest in the world to get, but once you get them, an Unkillable comp becomes really possible. My free-to-play account is literally just waiting on a Painkeeper, and then I can do it on my free-to-play. And that's actually kind of crazy, bearing in mind my free-to-play is like, what, a couple of months old or something. So it shows you how accessible they can be if you just get a bit lucky with void pools. So for us to do this then, I've got to build up to the right speeds. It's all about the right speeds, not as fast as you can get. This Maneater was already built at a crazy speed, so I think that we've Fox McPants has tried to do this type of build before but failed. It's because he's actually gone for an Ultra Nightmare speed here, so we don't need this much speed for Nightmare. So we need a Maneater that's running at 227. We need a Painkeeper, I'm just checking my notes, that's running at 213. And then we need 2 DPSs. I'm going to use Frozen Banshee and Grave Chill because they work so well together. And they work really well in an Unkillable. And quite frankly, it means I can free up other champions for other areas of the game for him. So these two coming in, they both want to be 169 speed. And then I need someone up the front who's going to be the slow person that's going to be taking stuns. And for this setup, I'm going to actually use Septimus. Septimus, I could switch one of those around. Maybe I'm going to actually take Grave Chill taking the stun, because then Septimus can be used somewhere else. But you want that person running at 106, so it's really got to be someone that you're comfortable to just completely ignore from the rest of your teams, because they're just too slow to do anything else in the game. So I think I'm probably going to run Septimus 169 actually, and we'll run Grave Chill at 106. So this will work on all affinities, but you just may have to build a second affinity tank. So if you can imagine the way the affinity circle works, let me just pick it up on one of these. Not a good example. What we're doing. Let's just pick it up in one of these. So see the affinity circle or triangle, whatever. Basically, what will happen is we're setting Septimus up as our affinity tank, and he's a green affinity. So if the clan boss turns to blue, he's going to naturally target Septimus. If the clan boss turns to green, because the other two champions we're using are blue, Frozen Banshee and Grave Chill, and green is negative to blue, we can still force the clan boss to target Septimus. So Septimus is going to work on Void, it's going to work on Magic, it's going to work on Spirit. The only issue we're going to have is when we get a Force clan boss, which means that we're going to have to build a secondary tank at 106 speed instead of Septimus for when Force hits. So we will need a Magic affinity stand-in, if you like, or a Void affinity stand-in, because everyone else is Magic. So basically you need 2 affinity tanks for this setup for when the affinity swap. Other than that, we're good to go. So you basically have to build 6 champions to build this to work on all affinities in your setups. So I'm going to get to building these up. The main thing I'm focusing on with an Unkillable team is the right speed, accuracy on the people that need to land debuffs or debuff extension, and then as much damage as I can put into their builds whilst doing those other couple of things first. Defense is kind of irrelevant in an Unkillable team because you can't die. So it's actually just about hitting as hard as you can hit. So I'm going to build those now, and I'll bring you back in a sec. Okay then, champions redid. Just wanted to say, you do need to make sure you've got books on the Maneater's A3 and books on Painkeeper's A3. The rest of the team you can kind of make up as you want to get yourself the best damage you can, but they're the two really important aspects you've got to do. So, Maneater is running at 227 speed. I pumped crit rate into him. I pumped crit damage into him and some attack. And I've got his Masteries on War Master. So if I duck to the side, can you see it? Probably not. War Master build, no support build. I do not want Laura's Steel messing me up. I do not want any of the turn meter stuff messing me up. So that is him. The main important thing here is the speed, 227. Everything else is kind of interchangeable, but the higher the damage you can do, the better. The next person that's really important is Painkeeper, and she is running at 213 speed. Same sort of thing with our Masteries here. I've got Laura's Steel on, but I've made sure in the Deadwood calculator that she's not going to run out of turn. And I've put her in Lifesteal Gear so that she doesn't attract the stun. She shouldn't anyway, but this is like your fail-safe. You do not want Painkeeper taking a stun or you're in trouble. And we've got 213 speed. Again, I've pushed some crit into her, crit damage, all of that good stuff. We've then got Septimus at 169 speed. So Septimus, 169, high crit, again, high crit damage because I want him to push out some damage. Same sort of mastery setup here, so I don't want any of the support tree with the speed ups going on. I kind of just did him with like crit damage, attack percentage, and then you'll see down here we kind of got defense, crit damage, accuracy. I do need accuracy in his build, that's why he's got that. We've then got Grave Chill. Oh no, sorry, let's do Frozen Banshee first. Frozen Banshee is at 169 speed as well. 215 accuracy. Accuracy is the most important stat here, along with the right speed. Her damage will come from her landing her poisons. So we've got a similar sort of setup on the Masteries. Some people have asked the question, won't her A2 throw her out? She doesn't use A2 on Clan Boss. So just doesn't use it, which is kind of cool because it would mess her up. So yeah, unless you manual with her, she will not use her A2. I actually put her in an accuracy chest because we didn't have enough accuracy in the teams. This kind of comes back to the Great Hall being pretty weak. But that's fine. Doesn't really matter. HP on the gloves just to give us some survivability. Speed on the boots. And then we've got Grave Chill. Grave Chill super slow. 106 speed. Good health compared to a defense. This is what kind of pushes the stun to come onto Grave Chill. The defense versus HP ratio. So she's going to be taking up the stun. She's also going to be going in the leader spot. I probably should have played, or maybe I will. Maybe I'll just play Frozen Banshee as leader with this accuracy aura, just to give us a bit more accuracy. I definitely could use Septimus in that place, give us more attack and more damage. Either way, I think it's cool. I'm running a bit low on silver, so I've not pushed everything up to max level. But again, accuracy is important here, and then just getting as much damage out of your build as you can. So if I had more silver, I'd be rolling all of these up to 16. I've gone crit rate, attack percentage. I don't need any speed in this build. Look, plus 10 speed, that is it. So let's give them a trial run on Nightmare and see how we get on. I'm actually hoping for a 2 key, actually. I'm hoping for a 2 key on Nightmare. So Maneater in there. Septimus, I kind of want him here. Maybe I'm going to try him here for that extra damage. If we're not landing enough debuffs, then I can swap Frozen Banshee into there and get the accuracy in all battles. Maybe that's even just better. Maybe it's just better. I think I'll do that. Okay, so here's the setup. Here's the all-important part that you need to follow. Feel free to, just pause the video here and just either write it down or bookmark this part so you can come back to this part. So, first off, you want to A3 with your Maneater. Get your Unkillable up. You then want A3 with your Painkeeper to reset the cooldown of Maneater. It's actually a very easy setup here. Clan Boss has his go. You do your best abilities with your champs. A1 with Maneater. I should have A3 there, it doesn't really matter. A1 here with your Painkeeper. This is the important part. A1, and then you can auto. So, very simple setup compared to a lot of the unkillable stuff that's out there. So, the first stun's gone on Frozen Banshee. That's cool. As long as it doesn't go on Maneater or your Painkeeper, then we're absolutely fine. Eventually, you want it to go onto that Grave Chill, because Grave Chill is the only one who's going to have Unkillable up when the slams come back. And you should see, hopefully, if I've done it right, you should see that we start to get that kicking in once. Probably be this turn. Oh, it's not a Maneater. You know what? Sometimes I cut that sort of stuff out of a video, but I figured, no, leave it in. Leave it in, because this is the reality of what happens. You do these builds, you follow these guides, and then you're like, why is this not working for me? So I should have done this right from the start, but let me show you a good tool. So Deadwood Jedi's site, deadwoodjedi.com. I use it all the time for this type of stuff. There's guides and resources here, and there's one called Stun Calculator. This is brilliant. It was done by Rust. Literally like insanely good tool by Rust. So you can use it for Nightmare or Ultra Nightmare. I've got a copy of it saved here for this. So what I've done is I've entered in all of my champion stats. And basically what happens with stun targeting in these unkillable early stages is the clan boss is looking for the person that feels most killable. Okay? And what this kind of tool does is it basically says where it thinks the clan boss is going to target. So you see it's got different people coming up here. This is actually tuned for Ultra Nightmare, so it's going to be slightly different results to what I've got over here, but this percentage on the right hand side is what's important. So what it's saying is that once you put in your stats, you only need to put in your HP and your defense. It's saying that once the clan boss starts targeting people, it's going to target the person that's got the lowest defense but high HP. So Painkeeper tops up your HP based on like a percentage growth, and the clan boss looks for, in percentage terms, who's got the lowest HP, not the actual number, in percentage terms. So what I've actually done here is with my builds, I've put Maneater's HP too high, which means that he's coming in as a higher juicy target than my Grave Chill, and I've put my Grave Chills too low. So what I'm going to do is switch up the builds a bit, get Grave Chill's HP up, drop Maneater's HP down, and Frozen Banshees down a bit as well, actually. And hopefully we can just kind of rectify that error, and then we'll go again. Right, here we go. So I've changed some builds around. You see what I've done is I've reduced the HP level of anyone that was kind of showing as a high percentage chance to take a stun. And I've increased Grave Chill's HP level. So she's now going to lose more damage per hit. And then I've increased the defense of the people that I don't want to be stunned. And I've reduced Grave Chill's defense. So every time she takes a hit, she loses percentage-wise way more health than anyone else. So you'll see the formula is basically telling me here there's a chance Septimus will take the first stun. That's fine, don't mind about that. But then from there onwards, it should always be Grave Chill. Now, this is set up for Ultra Nightmare, so we're going to try it again. But I didn't change anyone's speeds. All I did was I looked for pieces like these boots, for example. Now, I've got no big HP roll, whereas they did have before. In Frozen Banshee setup beforehand, I had HP gloves. I just changed those over to crit rates. In Grave Chill setup beforehand, I was running crit rate gloves, and I changed it for HP, so I've done the opposite there. So anywhere that I could push HP now on Grave Chill, I've done it just to try and force the issue, try and force the stun into the right place. So let's go again. Fingers crossed. So A3 setup is the same. A3 into A3. Clan boss does his thing. Do whatever you can to do damage. A1 with your Maneater. Let me just make sure I'm doing this one right this time. Yes. Then we AE1 with our Painkeeper, and then we're hitting auto. So, fingers crossed, this lands in the right place. The biggest danger is actually these first couple of levels. Once we get past the first couple of levels, we're fine. So Frozen Banshee actually takes a stun as the lead. That's fine. This was the kind of danger round, if you remember. So in terms of the unkillables and stuff like that, it's all going on at the perfect time. All of that's working. It's whether the stun now lands in the right place. And you'll see, percentage health-wise, Grave Chill's dropping lower than everybody else now. Hopefully you can see that. Did it go in the right place? Yes, it did. Because I took my time once I'd failed and got some patience going. I took my time to then put it in the right place and actually do the work you need to do. A lot of these things, it's like, oh, I'll just copy this video. It looks really easy. It is easy, but actually sometimes you have to put some more effort in than perhaps you would like. So it's now going to be running really smooth, and it's going to run for a full 50 turns. For Nightmare Clan Boss, to 2-key it, we're going to be looking at needing at least 20 million damage. And obviously, as I said before, we're going to need an alternative tank if the affinity switches at a later point. But at the moment, it looks like we're doing just over 500k per turn. And I think that's only going to improve as the rounds go on, because we've got Septimus hitting his ability to extend debuffs. So it feels like, 50 turns, half that, 25 million is really doable. I'm going to let this play through, and I'll bring you back in once we're done. Apologies, I think I had a bit of slowdown there on my recording, but hopefully it wasn't too annoying for you. I didn't want to change it up because this is real life. This is what's going on. So we're at turn 42. It is running like a dream. Like a dream. Now that I'd made those couple of tweaks. So I've not touched it. Literally full auto all the way. We're at turn 44. We're going to die at turn 50. Every Unkillable team dies at turn 50. That's what they changed a while back. But you can just see here, always Grave Chill taking that slam. Always the rest of the team just ploughing on the damage. Now, this is, I'd say it's like a probably fairly poor RNG run, actually. We haven't done too much Septimus proccing going on. So this team is capable of a 1-key for sure. Looks like we're going to be just under a 1-key here. But with a bit more work on gearing, then this team can do a 1-key. A bit more damage coming out of the Septimus. Maybe even bringing in Razin instead of the Grave Chill might just push us over that damage threshold. Or if we got someone like an Occult Brawler, then we would definitely go over the damage threshold. But we're coming at 35 million. So we've doubled the damage we were doing before, and we've gone up a tier in Clan Boss. That's the power of an unkillable team built in the right way. Kind of nuts. It's kind of ludicrous how strong these unkillable teams can get. So, and really with still relatively, I'd say mid-game gear. He's not got bad gear, actually. He's got mid-game gear here. So that's the Clan Boss done. Next job is going to be to fight in the arena. So I'm going to get some arena builds going now, and I'll bring you back in once I've got the team sorted. So what am I going to do then for the arena team? I'm going to get Haikatoon as fast as she can be. This speed will be the highest possible speed it can be, irrelevant of any other stats. Haikatoon's going to be our lead. We're then going to go into a second speed champion who's actually going to be Seeker. You know what? Forget what I just said. I'm going to get Seeker as fast as I possibly can. I'm then going to have Haikatoon go after Seeker. There's a reason for that. So Seeker has a 30% turn meter boost. Haikatoon, although she's got speed and turn meter, she's only got a 15% turn meter boost. Seeker will push you on quicker than Haikatoon will, which means I will need my second champion to be less quick if I use Seeker as my fastest champion. So I'm going to go speed into speed. Then we're going to drop their defense, drop their trousers in effect. With Stag Knight. I could do Tyrell, I could do Stag Knight. Both of them are good. I prefer Stag Knight because he also drops attack at the same time. And then we're just going to come over the top of that with somebody to slam everybody into the ground. And believe it or not, just looking through these champions here, one of the best people to do that on this account right now is my old fruit Kale. Kale does it well. Now, we've also got one of the best in the game here in Foley. He's not fully ascended. I will be using Foley because obviously we want to ascend. So that's one version of what we could build. Another avenue we could go would be High Cartoon Speed lead with all of the speed into somebody like a Morley to provoke the whole team and control their whole team, into drop defense into nuke. So same idea, but you get control in the build instead of double speed in the build. Why that can be better sometimes is because you can actually slow your nuke down massively, because you almost get an extra whole turn because all they're doing is A1 in your Morley. I mean, Morley here is even going to bring us more turn meter fill, so maybe I will do it that way around. That's what I'm going to do. High Cartoon into Morley, into drop trousers, into nuke. I've made my mind up after 18 different iterations. That's what we're doing. I'll catch you in a minute. Okay, so I don't make the same mistake twice on the same day. I have built High Cartoon up. She is at 267 speed, and that is without really any glyphs. So I've just picked up the best pieces we can find. Actually, we're to try and get another roll here, but I've rolled anything up to just 12. 12 is the magic number if you've got epic pieces. For a speed champion, you do not need more than that. That's enough. So she is now our fastest champ. Once we get some more glyphs on her, level 1s, level 2s, she'll gain about another 8 to 10 speed. Should be at about 275, which for the level we're at is really strong. So when I say I don't make the same mistake twice, I then go into the speed calculator. I enter her stats, 19% aura, 104 base speed, 267 to speed we've got her to. What speed is Morley? 97. She's going next, so I put a 1 in here. We're going to get a 30% speed buff, a 15% speed boost. Hit the submit. So it means I need to get Morley up to 224 speed to make sure she will always go second. If she goes second, we've then got loads of time before we need to land our nukes. So that's the turn order. I need to get 224 speed out of Morley. After that, I'm kind of lapping it up, loving life. We'll try and do that now, and then we'll go and fight some arena. Okay, so we are into arena time. So you'd seen my High Cartoon. High Cartoon rolled up to 12 here. We got 267 speed. We then needed our Morley to definitely go next. Now Morley is a little bit too slow. 211. We need some more speed into this build. Quite frankly, we need the accuracy banner to come in here, and we would like to speed roll on it. And then perhaps we can change up a couple of the other bits of gear to give ourselves just a bit more speed. Or we just need a bit more work around speed rolls. So if you look here, we got speed set to match this one, and this has got a ludicrous roll on it, but with no speed rolls, so everything's pulling our speed down. Equally, we have got chests that we could use down here, like this one we could use. It would give me a tiny bit more speed. Maybe it's the better option even, potentially. It would give me those extra 3 speed, but because we don't have the accuracy banner yet, I'm kind of trying to push for as much accuracy as I can. So that's the next evolution for this build. Masteries are currently not set either, so they would need to be done. That would get us another 50 mastery points here in accuracy, another 20 here, another 10 here. So before you know it, you've just kind of chunked up a load more accuracy, which you do need in this build. You'd also get some more speed out of Law of Steel, and you get some more defensive stats as well. So there's some more work to be done on this Morley build, but it's definitely the right way to go for this account. I will let Eat My Shorts, I keep forgetting what his name is, Foxbook Pants. I'll let him finish that off, but he's got the build in the right direction. There's also a bunch of glyphs just missing, yeah? So you get your glyphs on there, and you've probably got much closer to where we wanted to be anyway. So that's something to bear in mind. So after Morley at 211, we would then have ourselves a Stag Knight. Stag Knight, similar sort of build really. You want high accuracy, good speed. So we have got 208, so he's slightly slower than the Morley to make sure he goes next. And then we've got 178 on the accuracy. There's plenty of room and scope to build this up. I am just out of silver. So I've burnt the silver. We are where we are. There's more room to ignite this build a bit more, and there's more that can be done in the Masteries. So again, if you got to Eagle Eye, you would get yourself another 50 accuracy here. And it's going to be capped off then with Foley. Foley's not fully ascended yet either. So there's more jewelry items to be got. I did do a ring though. There it is. So there's more jewelry items that can be got, and obviously you gain more stats as you ascend. But Foley's much slower. Look at this, 170. That's because I'm assuming that we're going to land our provokes. Once we've landed our provokes, Foley's got way more time to do what he wants to do. So the main thing I was looking for here is high attack, high crit rate, high crit damage. We would get another crit damage item here, which would push him up to about 230 or so, which would be pretty juicy. And obviously we can get some more attack out of a banner here and some more speed as well once that's done. But we've got crit damage on the gloves, attack percentage on the chest, and then speed on the boots. All the while I'm looking for speed and crit rate and the rest of these items. That's how I'm able to do crit damage on the gloves. So this build is actually pretty good. He just needs to be ascended up, and then we'll be even better. So let's get into the arena. It might be a bit of a... I don't know really. I don't know what to expect. What, we Silver 2? Surely we're going to win some of this stuff in Silver 2. That's the old team there. Old team to the curb. In comes new, improved youth team. Let's see what we can do. So Skull Crowns might still be a problem here. We don't really have a way to deal with Skull Crowns. But we are faster by a substantial amount. We get our taunt off. Foley actually can't be taunted. That's kind of annoying. But it's what it is. We drop defense. Got it on 3 of them. And then we can do a kill with a block revive. So he's definitely dead. He should be dead. He might not be dead, and she can't die. So I'm going to go for, you get a double hit on this one. I'm going to go for the double hit here. It didn't quite die anyway, but that's cool. So we have got everybody low. I can pick somebody up and put block damage on them, which I'm going to do with my Foley, just to make sure I win. And then, bam, auto it, job done. And that's how this team will roll. So, and you can imagine there's plenty of scope for upgrades. As I said, we're not maxing out this team at all yet. There's more that can be done. Again, really fast compared to our opponents, and we haven't even glyphed up that high cocoon yet. Provokes go off. I'm getting some resisted just because our accuracy is not where it should be yet. We then get our drop defense on 1, 2, 3. We're going to go in with the nuke. Probably the person I just want to kill is Seeker, so I'm going to do that. Didn't get the kill. And then this one's actually going to end up being pretty tight, I think. Good thing is, with someone like Morley, she gives us that turn meter boost here when we get slammed. And she's also got a revive as well. So there's kind of 2 ways that we win with her. And, you know, like I say, she's got plenty of room for scope once we get her Masteries done. So we can just try and get some damage out. He's actually pretty tanky. This is a well-built team we're up against. Looks like Morley's going to be my person to die, which is a bit of a shocker. We might end up losing this fight. Just because these guys are built like absolute trucks. Like, come on now. Yeah, I think we lost this one. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. Let's not dwell on it. Don't dwell on the past, guys. Move on with your lives. So we want to avoid the tanky teams is what I'm seeing here. This is like a perfect team. If we go first here, we 100% win. Easily first again. So you can just see how effective just putting your speed gear on the right champions does. So I think we're going to take out... I don't need to take out Door Grab. He revives. I'm blocking revives. That's not a problem. This big chunky shield here makes me think I probably won't kill the Trunder. So, and this is a negative affinity, so it's a really difficult decision. I'm going to try and kill the Trunder. Oh, nearly did. Not quite. So let's just take her out. Let's force the revive out of Door Grab. Oh, that's a beautiful little counter there, but we are going to get a revive off. Drop some turn meter here. Decrease turn meter. And now people die. People that die will stay dead. Oh, that's not good though. We actually don't have quite enough damage coming through yet from that Foley. Which, you know, things like the banners and things like the banner and amulet, yeah, will massively improve. But that's our problem right now, is our damage dealer is not quite cranking their way through this, through these shields. Decrease defense across the board. Let's see what we can do this time. onto their damage dealer. Yeah, a couple of block revives. That's good. So we'll alter that away. So you can see, guys, it's still not easy. Yeah, the arena is not easy. It's not easy to progress when you don't have a great haul building up your stats. It's not easy to progress when you don't have a fully ascended team. But all of that will improve over time as Eat My Pants ups his gear level and ups his ascendancy and all that type of stuff. So look, we've absolutely smashed Clan Boss out the park. We've got a future-proof arena team, but it needs a bit more work right now. Hope you've enjoyed that takeover, guys. I've been Hell Hades. I'll see you all later.